So I went WestJet, and you lay over in Calgary, and oh my god, that was a whole thing as well. That was a fucking ordeal. So me and Gaunt rock up to the airport, right? And I'd been to Canada maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, and I had to get into Canada, if you're from the UK, you need this thing called an ETA. But I thought, oh well, I'm just transiting. I'm like literally there just for a layover. Do I really need an ETA? And apparently, yeah, I did. So I get to the airport, me and Gaunt both get there, and this guy is like, yeah, no, I can't let you on the flight. I'm like, what? He's like, oh yeah, you need the ETA. I'm like, yeah, I'm not trying to get into Canada. I'm trying to lay over in Canada. Why would I need a visa to lay over in Canada? Listen, my country used to own yours. Why are you making me get a visa? All right. I didn't say that, obviously. That's what I wanted to say in my head. But of course I was like, oh yeah, of course. Yeah, sorry. All right. Are you sure about that? I was like, my queen was your queen. Remember that? That was a good time, right? Let me fucking fly through your country. So yeah, apparently you need to get this thing to just transit, right? Now I remembered now that this little thing is super easy to get. You just go online, you apply, it takes maybe like an hour tops, right? And we're 3 hours before the flight, you know, because I always like to get early. Gaunt likes to get there super late. For international ones, I like that just to get there a little bit early. Also, if you get a lounge, you can enjoy it, right? You can chill. So I have 3 hours, right, till my flight goes. The dude kind of seems like he's like sympathetic about it. He's like, yeah, so just apply online right now and it should be fine, right? I have 3 hours. Of course, the website where you apply for this thing is not fucking working. Of course. How is the website upon which the people entering the country completely relies on would go down and just does not work? Of course. So me and Gaunt are trying everything, right? The website works. You can fill in all the information, but the moment you click submit, by the way, each time submitting all the information, it takes like 5 minutes to fill out all this stuff, right? So you fill it out for 5 minutes, you press submit, and it just gives you an error. You're like, what? And so you start trying everything, right? You start, you go incognito. You're like, maybe it's just my plugins. Okay, fill out everything again. Doesn't work. All right, fine. Maybe it's just Chrome. Open up Firefox. Fill out everything. Doesn't work. Okay, fine. All right, I got 2 hours to my flight. I'm freaking out. Okay, I'll try my phone, which I hate filling out forms on my phone. You know what I mean? So I'm filling out the form on my own, and that's not working too. And I'm like, okay, all right. So I go to the guy. I'm like, hey, this shit isn't working. What do I do? And he goes, all right, fine. I'll call my guy. I'm like, who's the guy? Who is your guy? So he's like, okay, I'll call my guy and I'll call the airline representative in Canada. I was like, all right, fine, because it's Canadian airline. He calls the guy. He comes back. He goes, yeah, it's working perfectly fine. And I'm like, whoa! Oh, is it now? In my head, of course, that's in my head. But obviously, being British, I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, if that makes sense. Yeah, of course it's working. Of course it's working. Of course it's working. So, you know, me and Gaunt are like, we're like brainstorming, like, what the fuck do we do? Because Gaunt is monk. He's always chill. Gaunt never freaks out, right? I don't get freaked out, but I get agitated. I get annoyed about shit. I'm like, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean? Gaunt just be like, well, I guess I'm missing my flight. But it's not helping me. So me and Gaunt are like, let's divide and conquer. Let's go and I'll go and talk to this desk. You go and talk to that desk. Let's try and figure something out. Nothing's working. I shit you not. We have 1 hour until the cutoff that we can check in. Like 1 hour, and then after that point, they will not let us check in. And so we're like, we're lining up. We're doing this shit. Time's passing. 30 minutes until the cutoff point, right? And I'm like, fuck. Do I try again on my phone? Still not working. I'm like, Gaunt, are you still trying? He's like, yeah, I'm still trying it. It's not working. I'm like, why do I have to do this just to transit through a country? The fuck? Not even Japan makes you do this, and Japan is fucking backwards with this shit. I'm freaking out, and I'm like, I have this epiphany, right? I'm like, hold on. I'm like, I think, right? They're insisting it's working. Maybe their website is just fucked, right? Now, I remember with all of these visas, including the American ESTA, including the ETA, the Canada one, there are these websites that they pay to be the top advertised spot, right? So when you apply to go to America, right? If you live in the UK, you live in Europe, and you want to go to America, you can apply for an ESTA. But people have figured out, these absolute vultures, these horrible people have figured out that you can just make a website where you can say, hey, we will give you the ESTA. Please fill out all your information on this form, and we will give you the ESTA. By the way, we charge 5 times the amount it should actually cost. And what they basically do is these whole websites that when you type in like American ESTA, they're the first ones that pop up. You go in there, and they basically just send, like, it's legit, you still get it. They just send your information to the American government and then give you the result back, right? It's not like, they don't steal your stuff most of the time. They just charge you like 6 times the amount. And it is a scam. 6 times the amount to get the same thing. And they're just called like unlimited ESTA or some shit, right? It's a middleman service, and they rip you off, right? But I'm like, okay, well, they're saying it's working. How about we knowingly scam ourselves, go to one of these websites, get the ETA on this website, pay the 5 times, pay like $90 instead of the usual $7 that it should be. I shit you not, it was like $90 and it should be like 10 or something. And so I'm like, let's fill out the scam website and let's see if it works, right? So I'm like, I fill it out. I pay $90. I shit you not, it fucking works. I get my ETA in like 2 minutes. I get it in 2 minutes. How does that make sense? That the scam website works and the government website doesn't. So I get it, right? I get it. I'm like, gone, apply right now. This fucking scam, it's stupid as fuck, but it works. It's called like Real Canadian ETA or something stupid, obvious scam. But it worked. I got it. And I have the number, right? So we go up, right? We have it now, and there's like 15 minutes until we board. And I go to the guy, and he's like, yeah, it's still not showing up. And I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, go over there and talk to the other front desk, and they'll try and help you out. Because I have the number, right? And it checks out. And then Gaunt goes right after me. He scans Gaunt. Gaunt works. Even though Gaunt did the exact same thing that I did after me. Gaunt's worked. Mine wasn't working still. So I go to the front desk, and they're like, no, it's not showing up, huh? You know, they do that thing where they're like, huh, how much do I give a fuck about trying to help this? You know what I mean? When they do give you that look, and you're like, I get it. You deal with a lot of shit, but I'm not being like a dick. I'm being super nice about it. I'm always polite to people when I'm trying to get them to help me, because I just think that being a dick is not going to help you. I get it, you're stressed, but don't be a dick to people. I'm always of the mindset that even when you're stressed out of your mind, you should always be super nice about this stuff. So I'm always nice, but in my head, I'm thinking, I'm fucked. This person does not want to help me at all. And I'm like, look, I have the number. It's legit. Like, this is it. I think it's legit. I don't know, but Gaunt's just worked, so now I'm pretty confident that it's legit. I'm like, yeah, I have the number right here. She's like, yeah, but it's not like popping up on our system. So I think the airline has something that works with the government database or something, and it worked for Gaunt, and Gaunt was checked in, and I wasn't. And I shit you not, like, the minutes were counting down, and I think it got to about the point where the check-in was cut off, and I thought, fuck, I'm not gonna be able to check in. Meanwhile, she's on the phone the entire time with someone trying to, like, explain, like, yeah, he has it, but it's not appearing on the system. And like, is there anything we can do? And I'm there like, oh, I'm fucked. This is awful. Like, it's literally boarding now, and the check-in time cutoff is gone. So I'm like, I'm fucked. And I'm like, Gaunt, just go ahead, man. Just go ahead. So Gaunt starts walking away. And as Gaunt just left my, like, view, the woman goes, all right, yeah, here you go. Here's your boarding card. Go ahead. I'm like, what? What? Really? Like, yeah. And I'm like, God, I'm good. So I just chuck my fucking bag on the check-in, and we sprint through, dude. And I'm like, you know, when you've recovered from immense stress, like you're so stressed out, and then the thing that you're stressed out about has been resolved. You're like, fuck, Jesus Christ, man, Jesus. And so I'm like, to Gaunt, I'm like, fuck, man, Jesus Christ. Meanwhile, there's someone in front of us, right? And they think I'm talking about them. And then these 2 British ladies go, oh, well, I suppose these 2 people behind us are in such a rush and are being rude. And I'm like, no, you know what, fuck it, yeah, I am. I'm going through. I'm going past you. Fuck this. so I just walked past them and I was like, I'm too stressed to give a fuck about you misinterpreting why I was sighing and saying Jesus Christ, okay? It wasn't because you were being slow, you were assuming wrong. None of everything is about you, woman, okay? So we get to the security and the line is so long. And Gaunt's like, well, shit. And I'm like, no, we can get through this. So I swing around, I go to the woman, I'm like, hey, this other woman, obviously, not the woman I ran past. It was another British woman. I go, hey, our flight is boarding 10 minutes ago. Is there any way we could go to the front? And then she's like, oh, yeah, sure. So she just takes us right to the front. Awesome. We go right through. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Yes, finally a W. So we go through and then we get on there. Finally, and I think that, like, we have no chance because, like, boarding is, like, about to end. We rock up. They haven't even started boarding the fucking plane. I'm like, this is, like, what? Why did they rush for that?